Hey, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you may be in the cosmos. It's Rockin' Larry Locken with the What's Your Opinion show. My co-host is Kenny Jackson, and today with us we have Callie, who's been a supporter of both of Kenny's channels and since basically day one, and we'd like to welcome him aboard. And it's a good thing to have him here because he's got a lot of knowledge that he's gonna interact with us on. But first of all, before we get into that, I want everybody to go to the What's Your Opinion channel on YouTube and hit the subscribe button. Go to Twitter, hit like, and go to Facebook and like our page by the same name, What's Your Opinion Show. Also, check out Kenny's main channel, Opinion But Facts. But we've got a lot of things to get into. We're going to start with Trump. I'm going to kind of just address what I would like to call his two meltdowns he had. One Thursday night and one Thursday night in Montana. I believe Wednesday night in Montana, excuse me, Thursday night in Wisconsin. First of all, okay, this is really like very like a small point of all the lies and shit he told. But as a presidential historian, like I've always been into this shit since I was five, like a geek. So Trump comes out there and says that no president has ever, no Republican president has ever won Wisconsin since Eisenhower did in 1952. Well, it turns out that Nixon won it in 72 and Reagan won it in both 80 and 84. Because what he's thinking about is that 84 election when Minnesota was the only state Reagan didn't take, which is kind of nuts to think that one candidate could take all but one state. But that used to be how shit was. But so Trump goes on to talk about just you can see him kind of cracking down, when at one point he's like, we're fine, Putin's fine, everybody's gonna be fine. And then he starts attacking our allies that they need to start paying their fair share. Well, what's their fair share? They have France, Germany, they have naval buildups over there too. The only thing they may not be paying their fair share of is these little chicken shit wars that we're involved in personally in other countries that are not really talked about. I think we're bombing personally 8 other countries right now. So, I mean, and the European Union is not. Trump made the comment that Merkel needs him, that we really don't need them. That's not true because the European Union, I mean, if Russia and the U.S. wanted to get together and go crazy and form this fucking elite force on Earth, don't think the European Union don't have the weaponry either to come at us with it. But Trump, again on the NFL about the anthem, and now he's behind this preposterous thing where after a PED test. If somebody fails a PED test, you can get half a year suspension or your fine reduced, the way I understand it, if you snitch on another teammate or another player in the league that's using PEDs. Now, here's where I differ from most people. I'm a constitutionally against drug testing, period, for any reason completely. I think it's an invasion of your, while it may be needed sometimes, I think it's an invasion of your privacy. So I'm against for any kind of, even in sports, any kind of drug testing like that. Because one, I don't think it's anybody's business. Two, and the steroids aren't quite the dangerous cow-infested hormone steroids that the Russians used back in the Cold War and during those times. But yeah, welcome guys. Welcome, Callie. Sorry for the rant and getting started late today, you guys.
No problem, buddy. Just glad to be here. You know what I mean? So yeah. I mean, the thing with Trump that he doesn't seem to understand is that first off, Reagan won Wisconsin twice, like you said, and the whole thing with allies is I want to kind of go in a little bit different of a direction for a quick second because it all ties in. For Trump to be talking about our allies not paying their fair share and whatnot, you have to understand that America is a largely importer-based country. We import things from different countries, whether it be China or the European Union for a lot of our automobiles. So technically, since we are importing dominant, we aren't at a position to tell others what to do because they're the ones that have the materials that we need to consume. So technically, we don't have a leg to stand on a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, I could comment on that. Kenny, did you want to comment on that?
Really, not really, because fuck Trump. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah.
But um, look, man, look, the dude is a psychopath, and we need to really, and I mean really understand that. We really need to we really just need to understand that. We cannot sit around and just act like this guy's a normal human being. This guy is a psychopath. He is a wannabe Putin. He's a wannabe the North Korea little Kim dictator. That's what he want to be. That's what he trying. That's what the white supremacists and the 1% of this country really want this country to be like. They wanted to be a dictatorship. That's why you think that the Republicans now all of a sudden was bigging up Putin and shit at the 4th of July thing, around 4th of July. Like, come on, man. When did we start bigging up Putin? Like, people got to really realize, you got to catch these motherfuckers of what they're doing. But mind you, these was the same folks that was so against Putin and all his crazy shit that he was doing, how he was treating his people and treating other countries and invading other countries. Look, we're not the greatest country in the world anymore. We are not the country that has the morals anymore. We're not the most powerful either, if you really want to look at it. I mean, if we really wanted to go to war with people right now, I would seriously think that a lot of our allies would not want to fuck with us, like, or help us. Like, I don't think they will want to fuck with us, especially with this war on terrorists and the tariff and stuff like that. So I don't look, man. I'm not too optimistic of what's going to happen in November. I'm not too optimistic that 2020. I'm a little worried. I'm a little worried that we have too many. It's not that we don't have enough good people in the country. It's just that we have a lot of stupid people in the country that doesn't use common sense. And I believe we got a lot of racist white folks. And I'm gonna say this real honestly and carefully too. We have a lot of put like this. We have a lot of racist white folks that are probably bigots and or may not know that they're bigots, that doesn't understand that they really are in the closet racist. And I think what you're seeing now is people true colors come out, because this shit that we're doing with Trump right now, and the shit that's being allowed that Trump is doing, this shit couldn't have happened under George Bush. This shit couldn't happen under Clinton. I don't even want to put Barack Obama into this presidency thing. We already know this is why Donald Trump was. We know Barack Obama being the first black president was part of the real reason why you see a lot of the shit with Donald Trump. That's what I want to say about that. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, to kind of piggyback on your point, the biggest thing that I see with the Democrats right now is I see a lot of parallels with the Ronald Reagan administration. Ronald Reagan basically showed up and basically kind of did stuff that's a little bit similar to Trump. Obviously, not nearly as racist and whatnot. But the thing is, the similarity to the way that the Democrats reacted to Reagan and the way they're reacting to Trump now is totally similar to me, because the Democrats in the 80s completely were lost in translation in terms of who they wanted to be. And the Democrats now, the Democratic leadership is totally the same way. You were saying that you didn't feel necessarily optimistic about 2020, and I'm kind of feeling that way too, because the thing is, I don't trust this Democratic leadership to really do anything that would be beneficial to normal people. Like, and that's the thing. The Democrats need to sit in a room and basically come up with an actual message. I don't know what the Democrats' message is. They don't know what the message is. And coming into 2018 and 2020, that's not something that I want to deal with.
Hold on. And I think my thing is, I think me and Larry had this conversation last week. I'm kind of like Callie on one hand, but when I sit down and I start really thinking about these situations, the Democrats really just don't. All they have to do, to me, is talk about the issues. They don't have to stoop down to Trump level to a certain extent. Don't get me wrong. I wish they would to a certain on certain issues, but I don't think they have to. I don't think they look. The bar is so low right now, and I guarantee you by 2020, it's if the economy gets bad, jobs are still getting lost, and people not having jobs, and unemployment go down, and shit like that, and people start losing certain rights that they had. Look, man, the Democrats don't have to do shit, really. All they got to do is talk about the issues that's fucked up. That's it. It's a little different now in November because they have to have some type of slogan or something that they standing by and they're doing. But I think by 2020, the Democrats just do normal shit that they would normally do and they would win. But I just think my honest opinion, and like me and Larry talked about this last week, was that, look, man, only person I really truly think that can beat Donald Trump as far as a Democrat is Bernie Sanders. And I think we really need to push him to go and run again. I'm sorry. I don't see any other good Democrats that's out there that actually stand for anything. Now, Auntie Maxine Waters, she ain't gonna run for president. I know she not. So you can't depend on her to run for president. But all the rest of them, I don't trust them motherfuckers. Just like I don't really trust the Democrats. Like you said, they don't stand for anything. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, see, and that's my bone of contention with the Democrats. See, the biggest deal that I really think is, I think the Democrats don't want to stand with Bernie Sanders, which makes completely no sense to me. But then again, I'm not a politician. I feel like they would rather lose to Donald Trump one more time if it meant that they would have to support Bernie Sanders, because they railroaded him already. Technically, I think the easiest playbook in the world is to run on Bernie Sanders' message with Bernie Sanders at the front of the line. But whether they will do that or not is left to be seen. That's all I'm saying. Because this is the easiest layup election coming in 2020 that I've ever seen. But then again, I always felt like the Reagan second term was a layup election, and I know what the Democrats did to that as well. So,
yeah, well, no shit. We only won one state in '84. That was crazy.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
and I wanted to echo what you were saying, Callie, because I started following politics at 5 years old in 1980, and the Reagan Carter election was going on, and Reagan was a lot. He was a former, actor, and he wasn't that great of an actor. Was governor of California for a while, but people fell in love with this kind of, aw shucks, Will. And the guy already had Alzheimer's disease and was developing it as he was getting elected, and people just fell in love with like a cult leader like that. And he had a way about him, kind of like Pence does, but in a little more, I guess, nicer way, where Trump can just be a fucker and insult you, and what Reagan's saying to you is an insult, but Reagan can put it in a way, in a dig, to where it's as evil as hell, but it's hard to come back at him with with something, and they're just smarter about it, like Pence and that kind of Republican ilk. But the '80s were really, people want to remember them as this great time. They were economically a fucking disaster in this country. Terrible, terrible. And you know what? Every time that there's a Republican administration for a long time, we're in this circle. What happens is the economy's broke, we're busted. The worst case, of course, is when Obama took over this last time, but it's happened every time. It's happened to Clinton, happened to Carter, happened to Kennedy and FDR, and on and on, and on and on and on, right? And by the time they start getting shit fixed, right, then the Republicans get back in there and they start getting the credit because they start seeing not start seeing, but they're getting like the end of it, kind of. We had constant growth under Obama for several months, economic or job wise, but then Trump, it hit that boom under Trump, but it wasn't anything to do with what he did. And then the Republicans get in there, all they're obstructionists. They get in there and all they do is, when they're not in power, they obstruct shit. And when they're in there, they push ideological, racial, discriminatory kind of mentalities, man. I mean, they do. It's not an opinion. It's the proof is in the pudding of what they stand for. I mean, this freedom of a religion thing. Yeah. Do you think that they would want they want the Bible taught in science class? I mean, do you think they'd want the Quran taught in chemistry class? I don't think they'd be so hip to that idea.
Yeah.
It's just it's crazy, man. And I mean, so people get sucked into wanting this a guru, or I like to tell myself, you know what, you're your own guru. You don't need a guru. You don't need a cult leader to look up to, and because this motherfucker said this or this motherfucker said that. You know what I mean? Somebody may have a good opinion on something, but just because they said something that was great doesn't mean everything else that they say is worth a shit either. I mean, and really, you get a lot of people that'll go, oh, this person said this person said that. Well, who the fuck what that person said? What do you say? What's your fucking opinion on it? It's okay to use other people for a reference once in a while, but like Megan McKean, Kenny knows this all too well. Well, this person said this, that person said this. Bitch, I don't give a fuck who you're talking about. That. I mean, are you kidding me? They're lucky they're not on a show right now.
The next time I take Megan McCain seriously for anything that she says will be the last time. Her father was a person who never met a war he didn't like, because he got excited when it comes to torturing people all across the world. So, that's my opinion on Megan McCain. And I don't necessarily believe that John McCain is this ideal man as he's portrayed. Of course, he fought for the country, which I'm respectful of and whatnot. But I don't deify these people the way that most of these people deify people like John McCain.
No, because really, when you think about it, who would want to be in his position? But when, like, and I've told Kenny and I talked about this before, that since World War II, when have we been in a conflict that you could even make a faint argument that had anything to do with fighting for our freedom?
That was
it wouldn't have been Korea, wouldn't have been Vietnam. Vietnam was a money-making fucking. It'd be like invading your local park with the National Guard and staying there 20 years because, God, you just couldn't make any headway in that park. Meanwhile, you're making all these meal contracts and medicine contracts, and people are getting rich with weapons contracts. But boy, we just can't make any headway because people know their land better than we do. Well, by the time we left Vietnam, we had a person in every goddamn step of the island. So you can only use that reasoning for so long, and then, we just got, why are we there in the first place?
Right. I want to bring up two points before they kind of fall off my head. But one point is the fact that I was talking to a friend of mine on the 4th of July, and we were talking about he called me and he was talking about the 4th of July and stuff like that. And I'm not necessarily going to say that I'm anti-patriotic, but I'm not necessarily the greatest patriot that this country has. Okay? And technically, what I was saying is that the last time we ever had a just war in this country was World War II. You know, America walks around like it's the big man on campus, basically bombing people that are throwing rocks at them and saying that there's some kind of, you know, tremendous force for terror and whatnot. But technically, you know, there's nothing that's really gained from these, you know, I'm big bad America, deify me because I can do whatever I want and they can't. And technically, our foreign policy has been that since World War II. You know, uh, another thing that I wanted to talk about is I was talking to an ex Republican. We grew up together. He's like my best friend from growing up, and he said, "Look, man, like I'm in the Midwest. I'm in Oklahoma, and technically, I'm turning blue because there's nothing that the Republican Party offers me. But at the same time, the one person that I would support is Bernie Sanders. And if the Democratic Party thinks that they're going to nominate people like Hillary Clinton or Nancy Pelosi and these corporate Democrats, and they're going to get us, that's not going to work. Because the thing is, I have kids, I have a wife, I have myself, and we just care about kitchen table issues. I'm a registered independent, but somebody's got to go talk to me. And that's the biggest thing that the Democrats have that's an issue. They've got to look in the mirror and understand the fact that the DLC is over. The corporate Democrats that started with Bill Clinton is over. They either go and stand in line in terms of the FDR way of thinking and that whole doctrine for the Democratic Party that was working class, or they get wiped out. Those are the two options they have. Because the thing is, the Republicans play the media better than the Democrats do. The only way that the Democrats are ever going to get anywhere is if they basically stand truly with working class issues. We don't care about Russia. We don't care about all this stuff. Start talking to people in ways they can be heard and they can understand you. That's what Bernie Sanders taught us.
Oh, totally. And he'd be the first one to tell you too that the big problem is that this divide. That the Republicans, man, they could stab each other in the back, call each other's families the worst names. They stick together like, dude, they stick together like rats, man. I'm telling you, they stick together like flies on shit when it comes right down to it. I mean, think about this. I mean, you had Trump accuse Ted Cruz's father of being involved in the JFK murder plot, or even jokes about it or whatever. But that's just, and saying the shit about his wife. I mean, they know how to stick together and keep a sinking ship together, and that's why it's unfortunately at the end of the day going to take us another 40 to 50 years to get to where we should already be. But you know, that's kind of the situation that we're fucking in, man. You know, and I got a lot of that anxiety Kenny's got too. But I want to say one last thing. Because I know Kenny wants to talk and I've been ranting. But I agree with him on Bernie. Because of Bernie's age, though, like we talked about, he needs to really, and I trust him to do this, he needs to pick an outstanding vice president. I mean, somebody that not Howdy Doody Tim Kaine, not, you know, I don't know, not Al Gore, although Al Gore should have been our president at one point.
Yeah.
But I mean, he needs to pick somebody like, I think, a dark horse. Like, let's see how Stacey Abrams does. The you know, the lady that's going to be the first black female governor in America.
Right.
And a lot of times, dark horses are governors. They're not always senators and House members. That, you know, i.e., Jimmy Carter, Bill Clinton. Bush.
Right, for sure. You know, I would throw another name in that mix. I would say Tulsi Gabbard is somebody who might fit in that role as well. I was talking to Kenny about this. I think Tulsi Gabbard is somebody that could be that vice presidential candidate. I think Nina Turner could be a person who's that vice presidential candidate. I don't necessarily care about the fact that she doesn't have experience, prime time, or whatever. I'm just throwing out names that I would feel comfortable and safe with if something were to happen to Bernie Sanders.
Let me throw an annoying dark horse in there real quick because I've said it before.
Oh, let me get in here before we go on to
Michael
the next.
Avenatti, go ahead, Kenny.
Go ahead, buddy.
All right, look, man. I already told y'all how I feel about that, but very honest about this. Donald Trump and his cronies are doing what they're doing because the Democrats are weak.
Oh.
They've been weak for a long, long time now. They was weak under Barack Obama as well. That's why a lot of his agendas didn't go through. A lot of his bills and stuff that he really truly wanted to do. And that's why a lot of what Donald Trump is doing is erasing a lot of that shit because it wasn't, the Democrats didn't secure it when they had the House.
Right.
What the problem is that, look, man, we already know what the Republican Party is. They have no morals. This whole administration, this whole time with Trump, we found out that the Republicans are who we thought they were. A bunch of fucking frauds, a bunch of racists, a bunch of liars. Okay? And they use religion as a weapon. I mean, we kind of really already knew this already, but now it's documented that these people are what we said they were. I don't blame them. I blame corporate Democrats.
Right.
And long as we have these corporate Democrats in office, the Democrats as the people will lose because they're not really working for us. They're just saying shit to make us kind of say, okay, all right, they saying some good shit, right?
Right.
They say one thing, and then when they get in Congress, they do the opposite. So, and that's where the corporate part comes in because they're getting paid from the corporate people, just like the Republicans are. The difference is that the Democrats, as Democrats, independents, don't call these motherfuckers out, and they need to be called out. See, it's one thing they see. This is the thing that where Democrats fuck up at, or even independents. When you call out certain Democrats of their fuckery shit that they're doing in the Congress, and they say one thing, then they talking out their ass on another thing, and then a Democrat person or somebody like Elizabeth Warren or Bernie Sanders or somebody like that call out the corporate Democrats like Chuck Schumer or Nancy Pelosi, and you call these folks out, what happens is what Democrats do, they get to running with their skirts, running with their tails between their skirts or whatever, right? And then because of the Republicans say this one thing that scares these stupid ass motherfuckers, okay? They say, well, it looked like the Democrat Party is split. Y'all need to get it together over there. I don't know what's going on. Mind you, it's like Meghan McCain said this shit, and it almost jumped out of my fucking couch when she said this. Because if I'm a Democrat, I'm saying, really? Are you kidding me? You're Republican. It's no such thing of the Republican Party anymore. So how can you talk about Democrats?
Right.
But what happens is Democrats don't say that, or they go running and hide and say, or they damn near agree with them and say, yeah, well, we got different ideas, and yeah, we're a little split. No, we're not split. What we're trying to do, which is the majority of the Democrat Party, believe you me, It's more of Bernie Sanders people in the Democrat Party. I'm telling y'all that. The problem, hold on. The problem is that we have too many of the corporate Democrats in power of the DNC, and we need to get those motherfuckers out. So my whole thing is, that's the problem. So when Meghan McCain said that bullshit, I almost fucking said, bitch, are you kidding me? You're a racist is running your party. And you're talking about a divide in a Democrat Party? Just because we don't agree on everything doesn't mean that we're divided, bitch.
Yeah.
Like, you get what I mean? It's a big difference that we just disagree on certain things to a fucking party that is actually just, you know, you got 99% of the fucking party racist. And you got 1% that's, you know, that you could kind of be like, all right, I don't know if they really truly racist. You get what I mean? So it's not like, or you call them, or they suspect racist. Like, so it's a difference. But the problem is not them. It's the Democrats that just say, okay, oh well, we don't agree on certain things. But we ain't divided like y'all. I guarantee you, when we go to the polls, we ain't voting for y'all. And that's all they gotta say.
Oh, for sure.
Bernie's been saying that. Bernie's been getting sick of actually being asked that. He says, look, this is how it works, okay? We've got Democrats that are running in districts all over the goddamn country, and sometimes it takes a certain kind of Democrat to win that particular area, and it takes another. That doesn't mean selling out your principles, but, I mean, there's different fucking values, not value systems, but different issues that need addressed in various regions of the country. Okay, I mean, you've got Elizabeth Warren up for re-election in the Senate in Massachusetts, and you got John Tester, a guy in Montana, a good Democrat, up for election there. But the funny thing is, like Bernie said, it's doubtful that either one of the two would be elected in each other's, because of the demographics in each other's state, because, you know, Elizabeth is a little bit more left-leaning than, you know, somebody in Montana. But I mean, we're so divided, and you hear that too, even on the like MSNBC and shit sometimes. When are the Democrats going to get their act together? Well, I don't really even know what the fuck they're talking about, except for, yeah, the few corporate Democrats who got to get out of there. But these big issues we're dividing and having this big civil war all over. It's you know, if I'm not watching Fox News and wanting to beat the shit out of everybody on there, sometimes I'll hear somebody on MSNBC or CNN, and I just want to fucking slap them because they sound like they're about 20 steps behind the fucking plot of the whole thing.
Oh yeah, I mean,
yeah. Hold on. Let me say this. The reason that's the problem that I'm having is that, and I think we all should have this feel like this is a problem. Look, man, it's not what the Republicans are saying. Because see, if they're real true Democrats, right? Let's just say that, or true independent, a Republican person can't say shit to me anymore. I'm sorry. You cannot talk to me about morals. You can't talk to me about policies. You can't talk to me about women's rights. You can't talk to me about anything. Or immigration. I don't want to hear that. I would say, I would get on national TV saying, I will let that person say what they got to say. And then I will come back. And when it's my turn to speak, I say everything that person just said, don't ever believe, because they are part of the Republican Trump party. And if you know what Trump party is and what it stands for, that's what they stand for. Now, over here, yes, we disagree on certain things, but we still have the same agenda of having morals, having everybody to have their rights, and having a strong border, immigration policy. We all about that. We real over here. We about this. We can disagree on certain policies. But those four things we're good on, and helping it, or even helping the economy, keeping the economy strong. We're good on that, and we're good about not raising the deficit if we can't make the money back. Like, It's ways that we can do, the Democrats can do, and independents can do this thing. But what they don't do, and what gets thrown to the side all the fucking time, or they don't say anything, is when they allow Republicans, okay, let them talk, but then say, don't believe none of that because what they're saying is not true. And they got to say that 100% is not true of what they're saying. They cannot be believed because they are with Trump. And that's all you got to do. They are with Trump. Trump lies every day. We got quotes. Look it up, people. Hit the quotes on them. Tell them go to Google. You have to do that. You have to fight back and be as strong as Bernie be. And the problem I have with corporate Democrats is that they don't do that. Because you know why they don't do that? Because they're no different than the fucking Republicans to me. They it's almost like how the Republicans was. They was hiding behind the racism and shit. They act like they wasn't racist. And then all of a sudden Donald Trump come, and then now, oh, they all good with the racism. They all good with the sexism and the homophobic shit that Donald Trump is. Oh yeah, hey, they ignore it, or they turn a blind eye to it. That's what the corporate Democrats does. They sit there and pretend they're about the people that actually vote for them, but then when they get in there to get ready to vote on some shit, you get what I mean? They vote with the Republicans. Like, yo, what the fuck are you doing? It shouldn't be a net Democrat voting for Republicans. Sorry, I don't give a fuck what bill they put up, unless we got half of what we want in that. And if not, we're not voting for that shit. But the corporate Democrats do it anyway. But go ahead.
There's something to be said about that, but that goes to a deeper sense of what the Democratic Party is. See, it all boils down to this. The Democrats have a huge problem in like 2 to 3 different scenarios. Number one, they don't fight when it comes to the media. Whenever I see a Democratic person, basically Neera Tanden, any of these guys, Joyanne Reed, anytime I see any particular Democrat who's supposed to represent the party, I basically put my head down because I know what's about to happen. The Democrats cannot fight on the media. They cannot stand for any particular issue. And that's why they basically get beaten up on the media. And that's why nobody respects or believes them. Number two is that the Democratic Party talks in platitudes. They talk in, oh, we stand for our beliefs. We want to give everybody a fair shot. We need to basically have more women in office. We need to have more minorities in office, blah, blah, blah. What they miss is the fact that it doesn't matter who shows up in office. If their policies aren't good, it doesn't matter. I don't want to vote for Barack Obama for the same reason I don't want to vote for Hillary Clinton. The policies have to be right. They have to find people who aren't women, who aren't black, who aren't Mexican. It doesn't necessarily matter about that. Who's going to stand up for the policies? Okay? And that's the second thing that they always get wrong. And technically, that's going to keep happening until the Democrats really just say, okay, we are going to run on these issues. Anybody that's down for these issues, go ahead and sign up. That's what has to happen. But what happens in places like Arkansas and Mississippi and, like all these kind of slave state Republican presidential states is you get guys that are like Republican light. So they don't even believe in the Democratic platform. They're just showing up as Democrats because they lost the Republican primary. And you can't walk into battle with those types of people because they're weak-willed, weak-minded, and weak-kneed when it comes to actually making a choice. That's what the Democratic Party really needs to understand. These guys like John Tester and Heidi Heitkamp that basically vote with the Republicans half the time because it's politically expedient are hurting the party. And I would rather have those states go Republican all the way through instead of having these people that are going to vote for the Republicans anyway. We might as well go into the war with people that are going to fight for our agenda.
Hey, Callie, can I say one thing real quick? It's so funny. I'm sitting there while you're talking, and I'm thinking about this lady that I used to work with. She was a marketing director of the corporation, and she was like a corporate Democrat, and her voice sounded exactly like Nira Tandon's, and she almost looked identical to her and was like annoying like that. I was thinking about it, and you mentioned Nira Tandon, and I'm like, that's exactly who in the fuck. I mean, basically, those are the kind of people that frustrate me in the Democratic Party that are kind of think they're like elitist type of Democrats. You know what I mean? I mean, I was thinking
and all
exactly
they're going to do is they're going to show up on the media to get their check. Every time they're on Bill Maher, every time they're on MSNBC, they're getting paid. They're not here to actually fulfill an agenda. See, the thing about the Republicans is, you know, you can go ahead and talk about John McCain almost being dead, or, you know, he wasn't a war hero, he got captured, whatever. Like, she's still going to vote Republican, you know, and that's the thing about the Republicans. They stick together. The Democrats will basically go sideways based on particular principles or based on pressure. That's what happened in healthcare. You know, the reason we had Obamacare that sucked is because Joe Lieberman said that if we're not going to put the insurance companies in the driver's seat, I'm not going to vote for anything, and we ain't going to go nowhere. And he was a Democrat at the time. He then became an independent, and finally, at the end of his time, he became a Republican that was considered to be a toss-up, just the way that Anthony Kennedy in the Supreme Court is considered a toss-up. So.
All right, hold on, fellas. Look, we got a caller in from Louisiana. I'm gonna go ahead and let him say his little piece. Hopefully y'all can hear him. Go ahead, man.
Hey, check it out. I heard somebody say, you know, talking about the Republican Party or the Democrat Party. Guess what? The Democrat Party is the Republican Party. Now, see, do your history. When $1, you know, the Civil Bill, you know, rights, all them white people left the Democrat fucking party and went to the Republican Party. So all this shit about the Democrat Party, no, the KKK, yeah, they were Democrats, but guess what? They left that shit when what y'all, you know, doing the civil rights, you know, rights, you know, Mark, they left the Democrat, you know, party and went to the Republican. And these are facts. I can't make this shit up. These are facts. Do your research. This is facts.
That's all you gotta say, my brother?
Yeah, I'm just saying, I'm just insulted, you know, with what's up talking about Democratic Party and all this. No, the Republican Party didn't turn into the KKK. Yeah, the Democratic Party was the KKK, and guess what? The Republican Party turned to the KKK. These are facts. I can't make it up. You can read it up. You Google this shit. Read the fucking books and all that shit. So don't dare the Democratic Party, because you know, that's what I'm saying.
All right, brother. We appreciate you calling in, man.
Yeah, I'm be on now.
All right.
What y'all say?
Okay.
Lamely
All right.
enough, Kenny, I thought about bringing that issue up, but
no. Look, my thing is that the brother is 100% right. I think I have talked about this as well. I think Larry, you have brung it up. I think Kelly, we all have brung that up.
Right.
We're not. I think what kind of, you know, kind of like got him fired up about it was because of how we're talking about how we're dissing the Democrat Party. But I think we all understand that. I think we because we all had this conversation before. We all talked about that. I think that's not what we're talking about now. Right, that's something. Right. I think we know our history on that part about it, but big up to that brother for saying that.
Yeah.
But we're not talking about that. We understand what the parties are, or what they were, or what they are. We're talking about what they stand for now. That's what we're talking about. We're not talking about the the Democrats had the Klan on their side back, and we understand all that.
Yeah.
Talking about what the party is standing for now, and why they just lost a election to a racist.
The point is,
Okay.
the Republican Party is where the Klan hides out at now. You know,
Right, but that's what I'm saying. I get that part. I get that part about it, and I don't think he misconstrued what we're saying about that. I think he wanted to make the point of that, to throw that out there to say, look, you know, this how this started. Yeah, we know how it started. We just didn't go back that deep. We get it. We know that the Republican Party is hiding out with a bunch of fucking racists. That's why if you ever hear a Republican, they get upset when even on national TV. I did a video about this where the dude got so highly offended, he was upset because, and he even admitted it himself. He said, as a Republican people, we're getting sick and tired of the left calling us a racist party. Like, dude, well, hold on. Well, dude. Well, that's what a lot of you don't hear about racist people in the Democrat Party. I'm sorry. I'm just put it like this. It might actually be some racist people in the Democrat Party, but you don't see that shit. You don't hear them talking about that racist shit. You get what I mean? Right. You don't hear about white nationalists or white supremacists talking about they like Democrats. You get what I'm saying? That's the difference. Your party, the Republican Party, invites the racists, even if they ain't racist. But you invite it with your cultural war tactics of trying to win an election, because that's what they do. So I don't want to hear from Republican folks of getting upset and say, "Hey, man, you know, I'm sick and tired of the left calling us racist, using the race card." Man, fuck you. You're part. Ask a white nationalist or KKK member or racist person who they vote for, Republicans or Democrats, and I guarantee you they say they vote for Republicans. 100% of all the time they vote, because they don't have nothing in common with Democrat folks, even if they do lie or pretend that they're not racist and we don't know. They still ain't gonna fuck with that. Still ain't gonna fuck with the Democrat Party just because, you know why? The Democrat Party, a lot of us are okay with gays.
Yeah.
Even though I'm not a Democrat, I'm just saying I lean more to the left for its policies. But no one. That's why they won't vote. They don't. First of all, they know minorities, gays are on the left. They vote for more left policies. Okay. That's why you will never see a racist ass cracker vote for a Democrat. Plain and simple. But go ahead. I'm sorry. That shit pissed me off a little bit. But go ahead.
Yeah, man. I mean, you know, it's that's there's a saying, and I'm not trying to go here, but technically I am going here. That says, you know, not all Trump voters are racist, but all racists are Trump voters, right? So
no. It's hold on, no. I can't allow you. I cannot allow you to get away with that shit. Hell no. All Trump supporters is. Let's put it like this.
All right.
Separate it. If you voted for Trump, and then now you figured out that he bamboozled you, I'm almost kind of wanting to give you a pass a little bit.
Right. That's where the pass I'm giving.
Now, if you still going to vote for Trump, you still going to support Trump, and you still supporting him, you are a fucking racist or a coon. Plain and simple. I don't give a fuck. They can sit there and say I'm not a fuck you. This man said too much racist and sexist and homophobic shit out of his mouth and been so disrespectful to other races of people. that's not white, and you're still going to support him, fuck you. I don't give a fuck about how good his policies is. I don't give a fuck how black unemployment is down and Latino unemployment is down, and how the economy look. The economy was okay under Barack. Yeah. So, and the black unemployment was high, as just as close as high as it is then. It is now, and I'm sorry. So I don't give a fuck. So you can't buy me off of policies anymore. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Believe it or not, the Trump economy isn't good. The problem is the Democrats refuse to push back on how bad it is. They also refuse to push back on how bad this trade war is going to be, right? Because quick economic 101 for about 15 seconds, you know, it really boils down to this. Who's making this stuff and who's consuming it, right? Trump is going after Canada. He's going after China. He's going after Mexico. These are all countries that make stuff for us to consume. So technically that means we need those countries more than they need us, because without those countries providing those materials and those things for us, we're not able to do what we want to do. And so
hold on, Callie. I don't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry, people. This should have got me a little fired up now. Look, before I forget, don't be fooled about what Donald Trump is doing with this war on the terrorists and all that shit. He's doing all this shit to see how bad it can get, and then he's going to cave. Okay? Believe you me, because the other countries are not going to cave. I'm telling you that now. Because they don't depend on America like they think. Like we think over here. Okay? And they will start, and they will cut America off on certain shit if they can find, in which they can find almost close to a better deal that they have with America. Okay? So let's not get that misconstrued. Donald Trump is going to keep pushing this bullshit of what he's doing with this war with the terrorists, and shit get real bad to we start losing so much money, which we are right now. We're losing money, and the shit get very, very bad. Then he going to jump in and stop it, and then say, "Look, I saved the trade war," even though ain't nothing going to change, nothing. And but see, he's going to do it and say, "Look, this is what I did. I changed this." No, you didn't, Donald Trump. You actually lost us money, motherfucker. You lost us money. And see, that's where the Democrats have to wait. That's why it's okay for them not to talk about the trade wars. They shouldn't even really talk about it too much, because some effect. Wait till he already losing us money. So wait till the shit get even more fucked up, and then he jump in and save the shit.
Right.
See, Democrats got to do some shit that Bill Maher actually really said that I agree with. Let him fuck the shit up.
Right.
Don't say nothing. So when people say, well, where was the Democrats? Why do y'all ain't say anything about it? We warned y'all already. We told y'all. Go look it up. Speak about it once or twice and say Donald Trump is going to fuck this country up. And that's all you got to say. And then don't say no more else about it. Let them fuck it up. And then when they come up and say, well, y'all didn't say anything about it at the time. We didn't have to, because we already fucking told you what was going to happen. And it happened. So now we're telling you, this is why you can't trust this man, because he doesn't know what he's doing.
Right.
So I wanted to put that out there, because I don't want people to get it misconstrued out here. This is Donald Trump. That's his plan. His plan is to go to war with these other countries over the trade war, so when shit get real bad, he can jump in and play like he's the hero, like he has been doing with a lot of other shit. But the one thing that's really going to fuck him up in 2020 is when motherfuckers see how them tax cuts for the rich fucked us over.
Right. Yeah. See, the thing is, though, I'm going to talk about those tax cuts real quick. Those tax cuts aren't permanent for normal people. That's number one. Number two is, going back to trade. Those countries have no incentive to back down, because they're the ones that have leverage over us. Especially Mexico. Mexico, to their credit, I'm sure Larry can talk about this too. Basically, voted in the Bernie Sanders of Mexico uh, as their president, and he said that he was going to hold a hard line against Donald Trump. So now you got Mexico, now you got Canada, you got the European Union, you got Asia. Who else is left? So here's what's going to end up happening if if uh, if America decides not to basically buy the things from China, what China's going to do is they're going to sell it to Europe at a higher quantity. They're going to sell it to Canada at a higher quantity. They're going to sell it to Asian countries at higher quantities. They're going to sell it to Mexico in higher quantities. What I'm saying is they have access to the globe. America does not. And for America and Donald Trump to think that he's going to be able to do this, he knows better. The people that follow him don't. And so those people that follow him that think, I'm laughing because I can't help myself, right? Those people that think, those people that think that Donald Trump is saving the economy and being tough on China, like they're gonna see what's up. Here's one thing. Politically, Republicans seem to own the word tough. Oh, I like him because he's tough. Oh, I like George Bush because he's tough. He's not going to go get pushed around. Look, man, Republican economics, not saying I'm necessarily a Democrat. Republican economics, once they start going, lead you for you having it tough. Other countries don't have it tougher than you have it tougher domestically under Republic. When your economy goes to hell, you're going to be the one that gets kicked out of your house. It's tough for you.
First of all, I just want to put this to all the coons, and I'm gonna let Larry go, and let Larry go so we can go into this NFL situation because I want to hear about this and give my comments on this. I want all the Republican coons and sellouts, sellout minorities and the coon ass black people and all the women when they start putting in these fucked up laws to discriminate against black and brown people and women. I don't know why I don't know why they think that R is going to save them.
Right.
And so at the end of the fucking day, to all the Trump supporters that are Republicans, even if you was an independent and then you went to vote for Trump, you're just as stupid too. Because you got mad at Bernie Sanders because he went to go fuck with Hillary. But look at what's going on now. When you think you would have probably just went on and rolled with Bernie, even though you was upset that he rolled with Hillary. And I had this conversation on my show last time with this dude, and me and him kind of got into it a little bit. I was trying to calm his ass down because I found out that he was a Trump supporter. He said he voted for Trump. I'm sorry. He was a black guy.
Yeah, I heard.
He said I come from the hood and all that other shit. And like I tell a motherfucker, you ain't that much of a hood motherfucker if you voted for Trump. Because I know I can go around in the hood and I guarantee you, it ain't a motherfucker in the hood that said if they could vote or if they didn't vote or they did vote, they would never vote for Trump. Okay? And so I don't understand why these ignorant ass folks, because I call them ignorant. And then no, I asked him, I said to myself, and I'm gonna let you go, Larry, and then we're gonna go to the next subject. I asked him, I say, would you vote for Trump again, or would you vote for Hillary? And he said, I will vote for Trump again. I say, well, dude, that's why black people mad at you. That's why we calling you coon. Because if you still would vote for Donald Trump right now over Hillary, even though we know she a corporate Democrat, I'll take a corporate Democrat over Donald Trump any day.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Right.
Like, we ain't gonna get everything we want. I think a lot of times, even with Democrats, That's why I say it's okay that we disagree about certain shit, but because we're not going to get everything we want as American people, as American regular folks. We're not going to get everything we want, because if we got everything we want, we'd be rich, right?
Right.
So we're not going to get every fucking thing we want. But if you're still telling me that you're going to still vote for Trump as a black man and say you come from the hood, motherfucker, are you crazy? And then you wonder why motherfuckers call you coon, or they was calling you coon.
Right.
Or coon or whatever. Man, get the fuck out of here. But anyway, go ahead, Larry. Go ahead, get your last say, and then we move on. I just had to talk about that. A motherfucker pissed me off that day. I was trying to tell him, say, stay calm, dude. Calm the fuck down. But he was so, I knew it bothered him that he felt like a coon. And that was the thing. He felt like a coon. That's why he was so like. Go back and look at that video I did. I think I did it the other day. And go look at it. The dude was highly fucking like, you know, just like all over the place. And I'm mad calm. Because usually I don't get calm with coons. But I was trying to be like, dude, I was trying to get him to understand, like, you understand why people say you're a coon? But he just couldn't look at it that way because I guess he's stuck in his Trump ways. I don't know. But go ahead, Larry. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I wonder if those motherfuckers ever saw the background at a Trump fucking rally where it looks like everybody is dressed like they're on Little House on the Prairie or coming across the Oregon Trail and, you know, shooting Indians in a covered wagon. It's just ridiculous, you know, and they're so stuck. And you've got every major religious figure of the Christianity persuasion now in this country that is trying to, you know, say shit like Trump was anointed to us by Jesus and Jesus chose him. I mean, you name it. Pat Robertson, John Hagee. I mean, any of these fools will think that he was sent here, you know, from the divine. But yet, I mean, if you were to talk about a Barack Obama, and I'm sure it had nothing to do with his skin color, their opinion wasn't quite the same. You know, he was the FEMA camp guy and the devil. Yeah.
Making fun of his middle name.
It's not about the race, though, you know.
Yeah. I get
it. Anyway, did you guys? Okay, the NFL issue. I touched on that as we started, but this has kind of got me pissed off. And I knew when I heard it on CBS Sports Radio late last night, and I didn't get all the details. But then I looked it up, and of course, Trump was tweeting about it and really supporting it. But yeah, if you're caught, if you have a dirty drug test in the NFL for a PED, you can get half of that either reduced or half your suspension reduced, whatever, if you're willing to snitch on another teammate or another player in the league. I don't know if it's just another teammate or another player in the league. I suppose it's anybody that's an NFL player that you had knowledge of. They're like encouraging people that this is a good thing. I read this article. This is a good thing to do. What a bunch of fucking bullshit, especially for me, because I don't believe in any kind of drug testing at all, period, whatsoever, unless it's a fatal accident and they need to know what toxins are in your body or some shit. But so it's just, I mean, to snitch. I mean, what kind of low-life motherfucker would go snitch on somebody, even if you were against somebody using steroids? Why would you go? That just shows how shady the NFL is. You know, the owners are in bed with Trump. They love Trump. They get a hard on at the thought of Trump, and so does Roger Goodell, I'm sure. You know, even though Trump does nothing to talk shit. See, Trump's still pissed off because he could never get an NFL team, and he sued the NFL like 30 years ago, and he actually won this lawsuit. And the settlement was for $1. You guys can look that up. His league.
Yeah, I remember seeing that.
He won one lawsuit. The motherfucker won, and he won $1. So
yeah.
Hey, hold on, fellas. I got a caller, and he back again. He want to ask Larry a question. Go ahead, Louisiana.
Hey, you there, Larry? You there, Larry?
Yes, sir.
Okay. When did Harriet Tubman die?
If I'm not mistaken, it was sometime.
See, there you go. No, don't Google it. Actually, tell me when she died.
Huh?
Hold on. Time out. What the hell do that guy
Hey,
do?
hold up.
Hold on. What?
Still making a point.
Well, make your point. Hold on. Time out. Everybody, hold on. Time out. Make your point. The man may have. Hold on. He may have. Hold on. Look. I'm gonna tell you like this. I don't know exactly the goddamn exact date and time that she died. I can't tell you that either, and I'm black.
Okay, she died in 1913. See, everything you talk about, it's all about your skin. She died in 1913. My granddaddy was born in 1911. My mama was born in 1933. See, that's what we talking about. So I can trust, people talking about shit that they don't know about.
Hold up, time out. What did he talk about that he don't knows what he's talking about? What are you talking about? That he ain't saying we have not brung Harriet Tubman or your grandmother or great grandmother up on this show. So what the hell is he talking about? That hold on, no. Time out.
I'm gonna let you talk, then I'm gonna say something.
Time out, my dude. Time out. Cause see, one thing you're not going. The one thing anybody, and I don't care if it's you or anybody else. One thing that y'all not gonna do is come on this show and talk about this man said something or one of us said something that we didn't even bring up. We brung nothing up about slavery. We brung nothing up about Harriet Tubman or anything like that. So what the hell did he say that you dislike what he's saying? What you gotta bring up Harriet Tubman for? Say what?
Okay, I'm gonna let you talk. Empathy is the motherfucker. I just, somebody, telling me I'm listening to the conversation between y'all.
Okay.
It's one thing over here and one white person over here.
You said what? Hold up. What you say? Hold up. Say that again. What you say?
I say it's one nigga over here. The life you went to, these are facts. The way Larry, his life went through, ain't shit that Joe life went through. So it's different. I love that shit. That's why I love that goddamn shit. But when I hear some shit that, hey, I don't agree with, I speak up.
What you don't agree with what he said or what we talking about? You never said anything about that. You brought up Harriet Tubman. What are you talking about? What do you disagree with what he said? What is it?
I explained myself.
No, you didn't. You brought up Harriet Tubman, nigga. We don't know what you talking about. What are you talking about?
Let me ask you this. Larry, you there?
Go for it. Yeah, what's up?
Okay. Where you from? It don't have nothing to do with it, but where you from?
I'm from a couple hours south of Portland, Oregon, on the coast of.
No, I'm not mine, Larry. Not mine. I'm done. I'm done with that dude. Sorry, Louisiana. I love you, my brother, but you totally reaching on some shit that we don't even know what you talking about, my brother. We know nothing what you talking about. None of us said anything about Harriet Tubman, my dude. Nothing. No one said anything about. We really didn't even talk about race that much. Only I really talked about white supremacy. You get what I'm saying? So if he disagreed with you or Callie or what you said, he should have just focused on that. This motherfucker bring up Harriet Tubman, my dude. Like, come on, man, and get the fuck out of here. And one thing I'm not going to accept on this show, or any of my fucking shows, or my show, I'm sorry, or this show with my co-hosts, is that you motherfuckers gonna act like just because Larry is white, and this is a part of what we may have had conversations about, that he kind of fit a little bit, but you don't have to worry about that because you got me. Okay, so we're gonna do this like this. Just because Larry is white, and I don't want to fuck up Cali shit, because Cali, what you Indian? What you are, Cali?
Yeah.
You Indian, right?
Yep.
Right. You got an Indian dude on here, you got a white dude on here, and you got a nigga on here. Okay? And I'm talking about not just a regular nigga. I come from I'm a street nigga that got my life together. So nigga, anybody that want to come on here and play that race card bullshit with us, it ain't gonna work. Sorry. I don't give a fuck if you're black, white, Puerto Rican, Indian, motherfucking Albanian. I don't give a fuck what you are. Iran. I don't care. Don't come on this show with that bullshit. If you got a problem of what we was talking about, what we said, say that. Don't be bringing up Harriet Tubman, motherfucker. Then he gonna act like, well, you like, well, motherfucker, I don't know when Harriet Tubman exact date, exact year when she died, but I know she died. I know she a true American hero. I know what I know about her. God damn, motherfuckers crazy out here, man. Come on, man. Anyway, man, I'm sorry, people. Go ahead. I'm sorry, fellas. Go ahead, man. Go ahead, man. This motherfucker pissed me off, man.
I'm just trying to think about what we were talking about. Were we talking about the NFL?
Yeah, Larry, speak about what you were saying about the NFL. I'm sorry. Go ahead, man. Motherfuckers on that bullshit. Go ahead.
So, go ahead, buddy. Hello?
Oh, I had myself muted. Sorry. Yeah, the only thing I was going to say to that guy was, yeah, well, right now I'm kind of concentrating on. I'm too lazy to Google when she passed away. I wasn't exactly sure. I thought it was sometime in the late 18th century, early 19th. Well, you know, which apparently 1913 it was. I usually know my history. But anyway, besides all that shit, now focusing on the NFL. I mean, you know, it's like, what is this shit? You know, you fail a drug test. Can you imagine at your job if you got pulled in for a random UA and they said, okay, we're going to let this one go. If you can tell us somebody in the company that you know has been smoking weed or doing blow or whatever the hell, painkillers, and they're not supposed to be. What kind of shit is that? I mean, that is Trump's America right there. There's another fine fucking example, right? And where are all these players coming forward? Like, fuck, I don't expect Tom Brady to do shit or whatever, but I'm pissed off at a lot of the white NFL players, except for maybe with the exception like Chris Long and a few others, for not fucking standing up for this shit and fucking, you know, it's bullshit. This anthem thing and what Trump said about the anthem and all that. The only goddamn reason that they come out of the locker room to begin with, it started in 2009 because the military started a big mass marketing campaign with the NFL because people aren't as stupid as they used to be and their enrollment is down. So they started this big campaign, proud to make America, or, you know, I'm proud to be an American again, all that bullshit. And
right.
And that's when the NFL players came out. They usually didn't start coming out of the locker room until the anthem was winding down. So now, I mean, Trump is just, you know, doing this, but you know, it's not really him I have a problem with. It's his pussy ass fucking racist owners like Jerry Jones and these mealy mouth fuckers like Lori of the Eagles, even, and you know, Kraft of the Patriots. Of course, I think pretty much all of them, except for the guy for the Jets. When I was surprised, said he would pay for the fines. He wouldn't impose the team fine on a player that decided not to stand for the national anthem. But I mean, what is it that I understand all these guys want to suck dicks Trump and are in bed with him and they're white racist Republicans, but what is it that he has over these motherfuckers? People like they almost get in his aura and they become like amazed by him like a cult leader. And at the same time, all it does is drag him down a fucking slippery slope to fucking nowhere. I mean, you know, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, where is she going to be able to get another job like she really needs one? Or, you know, the former press secretary, Spicer, they can't get none of the network.
Hey, Larry, let me ask you a question. Well, where did you get this this NFL thing from? Where did it actually come from? What's the source for that?
CBS Sports Radio. Last night I heard it on CBS Sports Radio. I just caught it, and then this morning I found it. The New York Post had covered it.
So is it
They're talking about it right now. Like,
is it is they just talking about it, or is it is something that they gonna do?
they're talking about it, but it sure as hell sounds like something the NFL owners are just going to unilaterally do. That's the vibe I get. Have they done it at this second in time?
All
No.
right, I'm gonna put it like this. I don't blame the owners for this, and I'm gonna let Callie go ahead. I'm not gonna be long on this subject, and we can move on to another subject because this is some bullshit. And not say what you got is bullshit, but I'm just saying this whole situation of they wanting to do this bullshit. That they even thinking about this. This is straight up bullshit. Um, I don't blame the owners for this. I actually blame the players for this. Because we got to stop blaming the fucking you know, the slave owners for the shit that they doing when the fucking slaves actually got the right to stop a lot of this shit, and they don't because they are weak. Okay, so at the end of the day, if they do this shit to them, it's on the players. That's like I said, this whole standing for the national anthem bullshit. I'm not watching the NFL no more. And I will turn my back on those brothers that go out there and play this year if they don't if they go out there and play, because it's on them. They know this shit is not right, and so it's their fault because they, like I said, they put the ball in their court. So it's on them to stop a lot of this racist shit or whatever's going on. But if this is actually true, they want black, basically, because it's most likely usually what happened is black people actually, because it's mostly dominated in this league by black NFL players. So they basically trying to get black people to snitch. And if you're telling somebody that I will lower you basically, it's almost bullshit. That's why snitching is so bad. Like that's why people like in the hood, that's why we take that shit. Well, not anymore, not a lot of motherfuckers anymore, but me myself. That's why we take this shit very seriously. If I signed up to do fuckery shit, okay, and I do fuckery shit, and they tell me, hey man, look, I will let you get off from, you ain't gonna do no time, or you only gonna do half of your time if you snitch on another motherfucker, and then that motherfucker gonna get the maximum and probably even way more than what you was gonna get the first time before you snitch. Like, that's basically what they're saying. They're basically saying, hey man, if you look, we're gonna give you the max, but if you could tell us who else of us doing the same shit you doing, we're lessen your shit. Let me explain something to you too. You know how that would fuck a locker room up? That player would not be trusted. Actually, that player that actually snitched on the other player, I don't think a team would actually ever hire him to play on that team again.
That's a great point.
Yeah, he'd be a sorry motherfucker for a while once he got exposed, man.
Right. You get what I'm saying? Because it will come out. It will come out. It will come out that person snitched on that other person. Just like in any other thing, they can have all the fucking they can have all the goddamn what you call it, all the goddamn shit. You know how somebody snitch on somebody and they say we're gonna put them in witness protection? Yeah, you put them in witness protection after they testify, and then that person see that person on the stand, you know he a dead man. So that's why you put him in witness protection. You think a motherfucker in the NFL is niggas gonna fuck with him after that?
No, it's absolutely fucking ridiculous. I mean,
go ahead, man. Go ahead, yeah. Callie. Go ahead and say what you guys said. We're gonna move on to the next situation because this is some bullshit. I appreciate this story, Larry, but we gotta move on to the next. This is some bullshit. Go ahead, Callie.
So hold on. All right. So Larry was making a point where he was kind of saying, I don't understand why the owners get this way when they get in Donald Trump's aura and stuff like that. And technically, the reason they get this way is because they are what he is. See, the thing is, like, we don't need to separate the NFL owners from Donald Trump because they're one and the same. Okay. The reason that I left the NFL had to do with Colin Kaepernick, but it also had to do with what I look at the NFL is turning into. I look at the draft process as a slave auction. You know, in the old slave auctions, I've read, of course, I'm not black, so I've read the fact that slave owners would say, oh, well, this one is strong, this one does this one does that, and that one does that. He's a big, strapping lad, right? And technically, if you look at the draft process, what is it? Okay, this one, he runs a 4.4. Oh, this one, he's able to do 30 reps on a bench press. This one, he's able to jump 48 inches high. So technically, you know, this whole thing to me reeks of colonial slave behavior. Okay? Malcolm X used to say something, and I'm going to paraphrase him. He said, there were people in the house and there were people outside of the house. And technically, what it is what they're trying to do is they're trying to go back and say, okay, like, you know, you can stay in the house if you can go ahead and tell us who the bad ones outside are, and I'll basically give you cover for that. That's all this stuff is. That's all it is. And technically, you know, I agree with you, Larry, that they shouldn't have to do this because technically, whatever you do in terms of what you put in your body in terms of drug testing should be your personal decision. But obviously, in the NFL, it's not like that, and I get it because it's academic performance, and you want to have it to be fair and stuff like that. But this is why the NFL is falling apart. And technically, one thing that I'm going to say that nobody's ever talked about on this panel is I don't understand why anybody who is African American or otherwise should play for these owners. If the league is 80% black, I don't understand why they have to play for people that have a slave owner's mentality. I'd love to see the whole NFL just fall apart. And technically, all these things are making it easier and easier for the institution of the NFL to dissolve.
I couldn't agree more, and I don't want to run the subject on. I know Kenny wanted to move on, but yeah, I don't miss the NFL at all, and I'm not going to. And I mean, you would think that these players would have some kind of a guaranteed contract for if they got hurt, but that's another subject for another day. But you're right, they really fuck. And the coaches, why? What a racial situation. Think about the coaching talent of ex-players that obviously you have because of the demographics that have never, until recently in the last decade or so, really gotten that much of an opportunity. You know, and it's ridiculous. I mean, that's been apparent to me for the last 30 years why the NFL is discriminatory because of the coaching and because of all the great black quarterbacks that we missed out on having that had to become running backs.
Right. One last point I want to make. You know, a lot of these kind of donut eating NFL ex-players were giving T.O. a lot of crap for not basically, you know, shucking and jiving for the Hall of Fame. Props to T.O. for actually not caring about what the NFL has to think about his own self-worth. And that's technically where I'm going to end this whole topic. Technically, I'm happy whenever the NFL basically looks bad because like I said before, I look at it as a modern day slave auction. So that's where I'm going to end it.
Yeah, no, I agree.
What's next, guys?
What's next? Is anybody else got anything on their mind they want to talk about? I had, it just never ends with Trump. I really don't have anything right now that's really pressing. Uh,
Well,
I mean, the Supreme Court thing.
Well, hold on. I got some.
Yeah, go Kenny. Yeah.
I got some, and I want everybody's opinion on this. Trump did a speech, and of course he did. He went back to being running this his racist campaign of insulting. And I always would feel like this. I would feel like if he keep saying this shit about Elizabeth Warren, Indian people should be offended by him. And I think they need to speak out a little bit more on that as well. And if it's that of a big of an issue for Donald Trump, if she is an Indian or not, or she part Indian or whatever, I think the Native American people, if they haven't said anything about it, or why is it anybody else's problem? You get what I'm saying? We don't make Donald Trump don't make a big of a deal out of what's that woman name that pretended that she was black and she was in the NWO, huh?
Rachel Dolezal, the person who was white that basically identifies as black.
Right, her. He should have more of a problem with her than he has a problem with Elizabeth Warren. But I do. Part of me, don't get me wrong, I do have a problem with the whole Elizabeth Warren situation, as far as her saying that she's Indian. I do. I need to see some DNA. I'm sorry, I do. Honestly, like a part of me don't disagree with Trump on that part. Like, just because of number one, I think if she did not, really go down and look at her heritage or do a DNA test like that to figure out what she was, and just to come out and say that's fucked up. Like, you get what I'm saying? So I look at it that way, but then on the other hand of that, so Trump can shut the fuck up about it.
Right. I get it.
Like, you understand what I'm saying? That's another part of it. That's one part that I want to get your opinion on. But then, hold on, number two.
Okay, go ahead.
He said what he said about Elizabeth Warren, about that whole situation. I told y'all I want y'all to speak on that. But then he had a nerve in the galls. You know what? The stupidity of him. That's what I'm going to say. I don't think he got balls. The stupidity of him to think that he can come out and try to mock the Me Too movement when he is accused of sexually harassing and touching women. And at the same time, he actually admitted that he grabbed women by the pussies.
Yeah.
And let's throw the cherry on the top of that. The dude that was under Roger Ailes, that used to work at Fox, that got fired for help covering up the sexual abuses and the sexual harassment that was happening at Fox News. He made this he put this motherfucker in his cabinet this week.
Right.
You know how insulting. Where's the bitches at? I'm sorry, where the bitches at? I'm sorry. Excuse me. I'm sorry, people. Where is the feminists at? Okay, where is the feminist women at? Why they ain't out protest? Where's the Me Too women? I'm serious. How can I take this Me Too movement shit serious if they ain't out? Like, Trump, you punk motherfucker. He hired somebody that was that was help covering up sexual abuse, sexual harassment, and then hired them.
Yeah.
And this dude had, you know what? Go ahead. I'm sorry. I just want to put it out there because that shit just mind boggles the fuck out of me.
Well, I'm going to start with Elizabeth Warren. You know, if it turns out she wasn't like a Native American, I would, for her sake, stop bringing up the fact that she thought she was Native American because it turned out she wasn't. So there's no reason to necessarily bring that up and technically put yourself in a bad position. I would just stop with that line of questioning myself if I was Elizabeth Warren. So that basically takes care of that. In terms of Donald Trump and the Me Too and all this other kind of stuff. Excuse me, gentlemen, one second.
Is somebody at the door? Oh.
Kelly, you gotta understand, you live, brother. You just can't just do that like that. Go ahead, Larry.
Sorry about that, fellas. I'm back.
No worries, my man. Go ahead.
So, as far as the Me Too movement goes, and Trump and all this other kind of stuff, with Trump, I expected this kind of stuff because he's got a special relationship with Fox News in the sense those are the guys that he feels chummy with. So for him to actually have somebody like that guy in the White House doesn't necessarily surprise me. The thing that surprises me is the fact that the Me Too movement isn't really, doing much. But the problem with a lot of these left-wing movements is there isn't necessarily consistent momentum going on with some of these movements. Basically, you have a peak of action, and then you have a drop off, and then you have another peak again. Technically, I think for any of these movements, regardless of what they're called, to actually work, you have to have a consistent stream of action going on when it comes to this stuff. So that's what I have to say about
that. The guy's name was Bill Shine, by the way, that Trump decided to, the other reject Trump decided to take on from Fox News, which is many now. And he still has many to choose from there. I thought it was hilarious that Judge Jeanine Pirro thought that maybe she could take Jeff Sessions' spot. That would be just welcome to the country. Have her as the Attorney General, the old sludge, or I call her Sludge Jeanine Pirro Maniac. Yeah, I don't think she was. I mean, she talks about being some high, big New York judge, but that was probably for only a couple of years because I remember her for about 15 fucking years on fucking court TV or some bullshit. The People's Court or whatever.
People's Court. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, these are the types of things that really, don't surprise me because people like her, and there are others. Another person that does this is Maria Bartiromo.
Oh, good God!
These types of people, they bend over backwards so much that it's so disgusting for me to see the amount of just bending over backwards that I see. Like, I totally know that they're doing it, but it turns my stomach. It turns my stomach when people like Joyanne Reed do it for the Democrats. And so in the same way, it turns my stomach when Maria Bartiromo and her ilk do it for the Republicans. You know, like there was something in terms of journalism in this country a long time ago where we were trying to be apolitical. You know, but now after the fairness doctrine got taken out, that whole thing is completely taken out. So now you have people either all the way on the left, moderately on the left, or all the way on the right. So there is no such thing as journalistic integrity anymore. It's just basically you figuring out what channel you want to watch for you to see people's ass getting kissed on both sides of the aisle. So,
well, let me say this. I don't have a problem. I wouldn't consider us journalists. I consider us having created or trying to create a platform to speak about opinions, but shit that's facts. Like, you get what I'm saying? And
right.
not to quote my show, but right. I respect people's opinions, but is it facts behind it? That's why I created my show, Opinion But Facts. Like, you understand what I'm saying? If you're going to do news, if you're going to talk about news, you got to be factual about it. Look, and you could be wrong about some things. People can correct you on names or situations or stuff like that. Or you get what I'm saying? But you have to have your facts right. You have to research. You have to do stuff. When we bring up certain subjects on this show, I believe we all seen what happened. We all did a little homework on it. You get what I'm saying? It's one thing just to have an opinion, but do your opinion actually make some sense? And is it factual? You get what I'm saying? Right. If I don't know enough, like the whole situation, like I asked Larry, I asked Larry about the whole NFL thing. I say, hey man, where you get this from? Or such, because I didn't hear of it. You get what I mean? So I only basically went off of that, talking about that situation, and I want to make it clear to everybody, off of just my opinion, you know, and what some of the shit I was saying about the players was facts. You get what I'm saying? It's not an opinion. A lot of times, if truth is real, if truth is truth, it's really just not an opinion. It's just actually truth. So even though it might seem like it's just my opinion, but if I'm speaking actually truth about my opinion, this shit is actually really truthful. No matter if I didn't know all the information. But people get information a lot of the times, or they see stuff, or they hear about stuff, and they don't ask questions. Like I asked Larry that question. Like if I never asked Larry that question, I'd have been a fraud of what I do. Like, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I couldn't tell people to go and research shit or ask questions about something, or be honest, like I haven't heard about that and whatever. Where did you hear about it? Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, you have to ask questions, man. And I wasn't trying to put Larry on the spot, but I needed to know for myself.
No, absolutely, Kenny. That's why I had to look it up this morning too, because I heard it on CBS radio. They do commercials about every 5 fucking minutes, and I just vaguely had heard it. So this morning I looked it up on the New York Post, because you got to verify something, and even if you heard it halfway from a reliable source, if you don't know the details of it, it's really not worth it. I'm kind of ashamed of myself for not realizing if they'd already put that in effect, or I doubt they have. They're taught. It's just something that they're talking about, but I doubt very seriously the players are going to have a lot of input right now into it. I mean, in a couple of years, the bargaining, the new collective bargaining agreement, but they do need to get out there now. I mean, I'm with Kenny totally. I mean, I understand it's hard to give up all that money, but fuck, man. I mean, I'm not going to watch the NFL this year, and I wouldn't even if there's nothing that could get me to watch the NFL this year unless it was a fucking suitcase full of unmarked $100.
Well, can I say this? I'm not going to watch the NFL just off of Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah, me too.
So
I'll deal with that league for the rest of my life.
that's automatically, even if the players did take a stand and did fight back or whatever the situation is, until Colin Kaepernick is in the league, I would think about watching that shit again. But then I thought about it. If shit haven't changed, the rules didn't change about how they treat those players, I'm still not going to watch that shit. Look, man, this is the only sport. But think about this, y'all. This is the only sport that actually the players actually don't get full guaranteed money. Other than maybe like a quarterback.
Right, and the owners can cut you at any time. Though they can cut you out of your contract, but you don't have. They don't have to honor it, but you do.
Right, but you know what? That's where the players got to come in and say, "Look, man, all right, you see, they're the hottest free agent. They're the biggest athlete in the world, and if I sign this contract with you, I want everything guaranteed, everything." But that's how it has to start. It has to take one of these black players, not a white player, a black player, to say, "Hey, I'm the hottest motherfucker on free agency. I need all that money guaranteed, everything." Well, what if you get hurt? So what? I need all my money. I'm the one sacrificing my body. Mind you, this is you gotta think about it. This is the two things. This is one of the sports, one of the sports that actually don't get paid guaranteed money. And mind you, this is the most violent sport. This is the number one violent sport. And they still don't get guaranteed money. I don't understand that shit. I don't understand that. I don't understand, but I guarantee you, and hopefully, I'm praying. I'm a little optimistic of this, though. Hopefully, when the new they go up to the new what's it called, bargain,
PBA.
Yeah, when they go up to their new contract or whatever, as far as like the bargain, what they call it, the bargain.
Bargaining agreement.
The bargain agreement, right? When they go up there and I'm optimistic about this. I believe that those players, this will be the time for them to be like, look, our money have to be guaranteed from the top to the bottom. To the players that are the fucking fourth, the third string, I don't give a fuck who they are. It has to be guaranteed. It's bum ass motherfuckers in the NBA still get their guaranteed money. You get what I'm saying? Yep. Maybe you gotta cut down how much you're gonna pay a player or something. You get what I'm saying? If you're a third or fourth string player, hey man, maybe you only getting like 100,000 a year or something like that. Or if you're a third string or something like that, maybe you get 200,000. If you're a second streamer, maybe you get over a little bit of maybe $1 million. But if you're a starter, then yeah, hey man, you get that big time money. Then anything goes after that. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But maybe you got to do it that way. But these players have to be smart. They have to be smart. And then mind you, that dude, what's that dude that represent them? That black dude. The dude that represent the players. What's his name? Black dude. Shit. Forgot his goddamn name.
Yeah, I'm having a brain freeze too. I'm still thinking about
it. People know what I'm talking about. That dude, man.
Yeah.
Look, man.
Just the president of the Players Association.
Yeah, the player. The guy that's he's not the leader of it, but he's the attorney, or you can say an attorney of the league or something, player association. But this dude, I don't know what's up with him. Like, come on, man, what are you doing? But I'm optimistic. Like I said, I believe that these players are gonna step up and do more. And I believe that national anthem should come up in that bargain situation too.
one other thing I'm going to say, just to add on to your point, you know, I think that all these contracts should be guaranteed because the owners are making money in so many different ways, right? They're making money on concessions, they're making money on tickets, they're making money on merchandising, they're making money on the TV deal, like all the sponsorships. So regardless of, even if a player gets injured, let's say he doesn't play and he gets injured, right? The owners are making money in so many different places, so that loss is offset in the other revenue streams that they have. So it's not like they're losing money. Okay, so let's say that maybe Larry can help me out with this. Is Larry, do you have any idea what the salary cap is for an NFL team?
I think it's 300 million.
Okay, well, if it's 300 million and an owner puts 300 million into the team, right? Let's say that 25 to, let's say a third of those guys end up injured. Okay, so that technically means that there's $100 million loss out of the 200 or out of the 300. But the thing is, they're still going to be profitable because there's so much money being made in so many different scenarios. So they're going to be fine. You know, the simple fact that the contracts aren't guaranteed just has to do with the fact that the owners want more leverage on the players. And that's the players' responsibility to tell the owners that people don't go to the stadium to go see Jerry Jones play for the Dallas Cowboys. They go see uh, the Dallas Cowboys because Dak Prescott and Des Bryant, who doesn't play there anymore, or someone else. The reason the fans show up, the ones that do, I'm not, is because the players. It's not because of the owners. So, but then again, it's up to the players to have the guts to bring that up, and that's
Well,
the whole.
well, they have to. The one thing they have to do is understand that even a second and third stream and the full stream players got to understand you're not going to make the type of money that the starters going to make, and that's like in the NBA as well. If you're not a fucking superstar, you're not getting LeBron James money.
Mhm.
Um, you're not getting Kevin Durant money. You get what I'm saying? But your shit should be guaranteed, no matter if you're making $1 million a year or not. You get what I'm saying? And you gotta understand a lot of these players are in states that they can probably make $2-3 million, but and then mind you, your money ain't guaranteed, and then you're still getting taxed half of that money.
Mhm.
So like I said, man, it has to be. It's up to the players. It's not. Look, we can't keep getting mad at the owners. We can't keep getting mad at people that's trying to oppress uh, the players or the people. We have to get upset at the people that keep allowing this shit. It's just almost like it's almost like political. Being political about this shit. It's about political shit. It's like I can't keep getting mad at Donald Trump. I'm not upset at this asshole anymore. You know what I mean? He pisses me
Right.
off, but I'm not that angry at Donald Trump like I was in the beginning when I first started, my show Opinion But Facts. But I'm mad at the people. I'm mad at the people. Like, are we gonna stand for something? We all gotta look, and all don't have to agree on the same shit, but we damn sure have to agree on that Donald Trump is not qualified to be the president.
Oh yeah,
He's not capable of being the president. He's not intelligent enough or bright enough to be the president. You
yeah.
know what I mean? Or just understand that this dude is stealing from us as well. He's stealing from us being the president. He didn't even want to be the president, and that's the crazy shit about it. That's the fucked up part about it. People don't really realize that. Even Trump supporters, they don't even realize this shit. He didn't even want to be the president. This is a shocker to him. That's why look, the man, they keep saying he don't read. The man don't read because the simple fact it's no reason for him to read because he don't want to be the president. He only gonna go by what people tell him. If I'm in a position right now of my show, right? I have my show. I do what I do on my show, right?
Mhm.
It's my responsibility because I understand that other people depend on me to give them my opinion, but facts on certain stories. So I have to educate myself. I had to maybe read some shit. I maybe had to research some things. Like, you get what I mean? That's my responsibility. You get what I'm saying? We all have responsibility because, especially if you feel like if I'm a leader of something, or if I'm doing something to lead people, I have to do that. Donald Trump didn't want this from the jump. Like, if just say like I just all of a sudden, like when I first started this, yeah, at the time I thought that maybe, hey man, I don't know for sure, I'm just gonna do this to see how it go. Right. I'm not gonna lie to people to a certain extent, right?
Right.
But I did have a motive behind the show of opinion but facts. It was a motive behind it. It was something that I actually really thought about. And okay, it didn't it got bigger than what I thought it was going to be. And then I had to start taking this shit serious. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Of like, okay, people are really listening, so I have to be responsible of what I'm putting out and what I'm saying. I had to take responsibility of it. Donald Trump did not want this shit from the jump, and he still don't. He's saying, fuck it, you know what? I'm gonna get all the money I can get out of this bitch right now. I'm gonna say I'm gonna lie and I'm gonna say whatever, because you know what? Oh damn, I can get away with lying. Oh shit. Oh, I'm scaring the Republican Party. Oh shit, I'm good. I'm okay. And he just running with it. And people don't understand that. They get caught with the okie doke, so they don't understand that. But go ahead, Larry.
Yeah, well, I remember hearing around that time too that his plan was that he really didn't, and I can't confirm this or deny this. I don't remember where I heard this, but I did, that his plan, of course, he didn't think he was going to win, but what his thought was behind it was that him and Steve Bannon and people from Breitbart and things like that would, and maybe with some help with Roger Ailes, who had just been fired from Fox, they wanted to start their own kind of Trump news organization.
Yeah.
To where, it'd basically they'd be on the campaign against Hillary for, another 4 years while she was president. That's just where I had heard a couple places, whether, but I don't have any proof to back that up or anything. But my guess is that he would do something like that if he would have lost.
Originally, the reports came out that he didn't want to be president. He apparently before the election day, he went to the RNC and basically gave them a ransom notice for him to get out of running for the presidency, because for him it was a stunt. What the RNC decided was, and I think it was either 100 million or 300 million. Don't quote me on that. But he wanted that money. In exchange, he would gracefully bow out. He'd come up with some reason to basically not run. And technically, Mike Pence had told the people with the brass ring in the party, the people with the power, that he was ready for prime time if Donald Trump was to hit the eject button. And what the people in power decided was, it doesn't matter what happens. We've got a good enough chance of winning. Let's see what happens. And if he ends up winning, we'll just let him, run the country, and we'll basically not have to pay him anything for doing it. So that's technically what the step-by-step playbook was.
Yeah, no question about it. It makes sense totally. I mean, it's really the perfect scenario for them, to cover their ass at all, in all angles.
For sure. Cool. Anything else, guys?
Yeah, I don't.
Okay, hold on. Do we got anything else for this for the last subject? Are we good?
I think we're good, guys. I don't have anything off the top of my head right away.
I think we're good.
Yeah, I'm drawing a blank.
All right. Okay. Let me
By
let
the
me say this.
way, Kenny, hey, my son's in Washington D.C. right now. He got selected to go on a committee from a youth organization around here, so he's not too far from you. Well, an hour or so, anyway. So it's kind of exciting.
What he in Maryland?
No, he's in D.C.
Oh, DC. Okay.
A couple hours from you. Yeah.
Hey, that's a good thing, man. Keep these kids up in on some positive thing. That's what we got to do. Keep the kids on the positive thing, not this bullshit that's going on with grown adults. But
yeah, we haven't been much of an example for sure, guys. Yeah, and that's pretty much all I've got to really say for the show.
All right, let me put this out here. We this the second episode of What's Your Opinion show. The What's Your Opinion show. We're gonna get better at it. Like I said, we're gonna have phone call. People can call in and voice their opinion. I had the phone ready for everybody. Maybe I should have told Larry to put it in the description box so everybody can call. But it's the same number of the What's Your Opinion show. You call in on the show as well.
My bad. I've got it included on our page actually to the side, but I'll start including it in everything we do. The number just to kind of get it in people's minds. So my bad on that.
Yeah. So we got that, Larry. I'm gonna make sure he work on that. It's gonna be the same number to what you call into my show. We're gonna get better and better every week, and we got our new co-host, which is Callie. We're gonna do this thing weekly. So this is gonna be the three of us. I think it's we had a great conversation today about what's going on in the world. We're gonna get better, people, because I think that we're gonna work on some certain subjects and certain things that's going on. We're gonna have, I mean, we did a pretty good job this week, but I think we could have had a little bit, we don't spend too long on one subject and move on to 3 or 4 more subjects that we could have talked about. But it really too much really didn't happen this week, really, believe it or not. So it was kind of like, it's kind of like we was kind of like pulling straws a little bit, man, because it's a lot of stuff really didn't happen this week. So but we're gonna get better every week, and me and Larry and Callie, we're gonna figure out how we can put the chat room thing up, because there's a chat room thing on here, right, Larry?
Yes, sir. In fact, actually, if you're also looking at your YouTube channel, you should see it up right now. The thing is, you got to make sure you mute your YouTube channel, or it'll come through. But yeah, it's on there. It's like I just typed hello.
Okay, we're going to get better at this. The show is going to be better. Hopefully, Callie show his face more, and Larry show his face more. But I understand why Larry put up what's your opinion, because I get that part about it. So but we're gonna work on this. It's gonna get better here, people. We're gonna get better. All right. But I want everybody to know fucking Larry. Well, we're gonna I want everybody to know I'm getting with Callie. We gotta get together sometime this week so we can figure out the sports show.
Sounds good, buddy. I'll keep you posted.
yeah, we're gonna get up. Me and Callie we're gonna work on that together to get up on the sports show that he's gonna have on What's Your Opinion? The What's Your Opinion show. I'm sorry. Larry didn't rename this shit, but so we good with it. Um, but we are going to we will have that show up and running in the next maybe I give us a 2 weeks because
Yeah.
I figured me and Callie really got to work on this a little bit and see how we can do it. And I will as well be coming out with a show on the network on What's Your Opinion. I have my own show on here as well. I will be doing something on here as well. I'm not for sure exactly what I want to do, exactly what I actually want to do yet, but I'm going to do something on this network as well. I mean on this channel as well. But people, make sure you subscribe to this show, the What's Your Opinion show. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you go to our Facebook as well. It's the same name. We got our Twitter up as well. Make sure y'all follow us on Twitter. I will make sure that we be leaving quotes and certain things that we're going to do. Callie will be doing it as well. Larry is going to do it as well. It's a progress, people. So y'all gotta bear with us on this. It's a little new for all of us to a certain extent. I'm used to just doing what I do with my show, but now I know I have to be a little bit more involved as well. But I really I give a lot of props and I give a lot of what we do on this show right here to Larry. Larry basically runs kind of, he's the head honcho on this. He basically runs this. So if you need to know certain things or what's going on, make sure you Larry can tell y'all where you want him to put your Twitter and Facebook thing out there, Larry.
You can find me on Facebook, of course, on my timeline at Larry Locken, LarryLocken, and you'll see me. I'm the guy with the pool stick next to a redheaded girl with a pool stick, so that's me. Twitter. Now on Twitter, my channel is the What's Your Opinion channel, and so that's where you can find me on Twitter. But you can type in my name on YouTube and probably get, I don't know, 10, maybe even up to 100,000 hits. Seriously, I used to do a lot of shows about extraterrestrials and different kinds of spirituality and shit, but so it's kind of like I'm balancing back and forth between those two. But I'm really excited to be on this, and I'm excited for your guys' new sports show. It'll be interesting to see if Jim, you guys know that Jim Rome is up for the National Hall of Fame, Radio Hall of Fame, and
wow, really? Wow.
Yeah, I don't know if Romy will get in there.
Wow, man. Yeah, that's my childhood.
I'm sure Scott Farrell's having a hard on about it, but that's okay.
Wasn't his show called The Jungle?
The Jungle, it still is, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I know that guy. I mean, for sure. Wow.
Yeah, no, hold on. I want to make this clear. The show is not mine and Callie's. It's Callie's show. We're gonna work on a name. But it's mainly Callie out here and there. I'll pop up on it if he want me to pop up on it. But it's mainly going to be his show. And he's going to run it the way he's going to run his show. But it is a part of What's Your Opinion show. So it's all branded under the same umbrella. But it's mainly, that's gonna be mainly Cali show. And we might just call the shit Cali Sports. I mean, we working on some names.
Cali Sports Show, period. No, that's kind of
So we're gonna work on it. We're gonna do some things. But yeah, we got a lot of things coming up, people. We got a lot of things planned for the fall as well. I got some ideas that I gotta run past the fellas and see what they think about that as well. We're looking for new talent as well to come on and be a part of the show. I have to get up with Callie and Larry so we can set up the PayPal, how we want to do this, so people can start donating to the channel, so we can have money coming in, so we can, push the content bigger and better. And at the same time, y'all know half of the money that y'all will donate to the channel will go to different schools around the country. You get what I'm saying? So that's how we doing it, people. We don't just want to receive the money. We want to give the money out to the people that's in need.
That's
All
right.
right. So that's what we're about over here. I tell people that all the time. So I had conversations with Callie. I had conversations with Larry as well about bringing in the money. Having people donate. I really didn't want to do it, but I knew we have to do it in some type of way to keep the show pushing to another level. You know what I'm saying? We will have our logo up soon. We're working on that as well. Like I said, me, Callie, and Larry, because me and Larry, we kind of started doing this, but Larry, Callie came in, and so we got a new partner in this. So we trying to, we got some things we got to work out, and we got to do some things to upgrade the channel as well to do bigger and better things. But we will do this, people. Just give us time, be patient with us. We appreciate everybody coming on the live stream, all the subscribers. We need to get our subscribers up. For me, I only see 49 subscribers, and fuck that. Everybody that was on Opinion But Facts should be here. You get what I'm saying? People that's from Larry channel should be here. People because I don't know if Callie had a channel. You had a channel, Callie?
Well, I did, but I was never able to put it up. I had like 10 subscribers, so.
Yeah, so okay, so Callie is brand new to this, so we gonna boost Callie thing up. I believe Callie thing might actually be bigger than everybody else show, because it's about sports, and I think everybody loves sports, more than they love politics and the shit that we talk about or whatever. That's why I said I'm coming out with a new show. I can't figure out exactly what I want to do exactly yet. But I will make I am thinking about a show to come out with for late night chats. But kind of how we doing now. So like kind of like what's it called? Like what you call it, like Callie, like a late night like video chat. Like a late night video chat. I give one subscriber a night. That's the show that I'm kind of thinking about doing something with the doing like a chat with me once a every other day or something like that. I'm still in the works of that. And I got to make sure I have the time to do it all the time, but I want to do that. I want to give our subscribers time to come in and speak with me for about an hour. So that might be the new show that I do on What's Your Opinion show. So we got some things coming up. I just wanted to put that out there, people. Make sure you guys go to What's Your Opinion But Facts, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you subscribe to What's Your Opinion. What's Your Opinion show, Facebook and Twitter. So it's all under one umbrella. And at the same time, I will be changing the name of Opinion But Facts. It will be called. I have to work on that. I haven't had the time to do it exactly yet, to change the name to Opinion But Facts Network. So it links into what we're doing over here. Do anybody else got anything else to say? I know I ranted on for a little bit.
Very important, really, to everybody out there. One of the biggest things people can do for us is they can help share our stuff, because what happens is if you share a post 4 or 5 different times to a group you don't own, and it's gotten certain content in it, or somebody bitches, Facebook will ban you now for 3 days automatically. Then it goes to a week. You can still post on your timeline in your own groups that you that you own, but they will not let you post to any other group or bump a post. So I really encourage people, if they could, share our shows a couple of places.
Yeah.
You know, so that's all I've got to say. And other than that, thank you guys so much for the show, and have a great rest of your Sunday afternoon. And I'd also like to bid everybody out there a big cosmic dating game kiss. And we're out.
Kelly, got anything to say?
No, man, just it was fun. Thanks everybody who participated, everybody that will continue to participate. This is going to get better and better.
All right, and all I want to say is this, and we're gonna leave this with this, people. Look, I'm doing this so we can have different opinions and just different respective of, like, it's just not coming from the some people might look at it, the angry black guy. So but you know, we doing this trying to do this on so many levels. So if people got ideas and they want to be a part of the family, you know, far as what's your opinion show, so you can come and be a part of it. Just get in touch with me, Larry, or Callie, on Facebook or whatever, you know what I'm saying, or just leave us some comments, and we'll get back to you, because I look at my comments, and hopefully you guys look at the comments as well. Kelly, we gotta before you go, I gotta tell you about give you some the information as far as what's your opinion. But so yeah, we out. So all right, Larry, take us out of here.